Hi everyone, welcome to this training. So today we are going to cover the absolute basics of the go-to-market or what we call as GTM. Whether you are an SDR or an aspiring SDR or an account executive or even a customer success professional, you will hear this word called GTM all the time. Most people get it wrong, so they think that GTM is like a product launch date. So they think that it's just like pressing a button and you go live. But actually, in SaaS, GTM is not an event; it's a system. So it is that machine we build to find customers, to win them, and to keep them forever. So all three covered. All right. So by the end of this video, you will understand exactly how this machine works and what does what and how you can fit into the picture. Okay. So let's not waste time. Let's dive in. All right. So what is GTM actually? In simple words, go to market is the answer to three very important questions. Okay. So if you don't business, first, who are we selling to? Now, this is your target audience. Are we selling to a small shop or a big enterprise like maybe Reliance or Tata, right? Second, how do we reach them? Now, this is your channel, right? So, do we call them? Do we run ads? Do we, do LinkedIn ads, or do we wait for them to come to our website through certain kind of marketing activities, right? Third thing, what do we say? Now, this is your messaging, right? What is the problem that you are solving for them? All right. In SaaS, if your product is like the engine, then GTM is the steering wheel, right? And the fuel. So GTM drives the revenue. Always remember this. Okay. Next. Now, these are like the four pillars you need to know. Okay. First, the product team. Now, these are the builders, but remember, they shouldn't just build whatever they want. They need to build what the market wants to buy. Okay. Now, that's called the PMF or product market fit. Second, there is marketing, right? Now, marketing, you can think of them like the megaphone. Their job is to create noise and bring people to the door, right? So, they are the ones who will generate the leads. Third, it's us. Okay. We are the closers, the sales team, right? Our job is to take that lead, what marketing got, understand their pain, show them the solution, and get the contract signed, right? The fourth is the customer success. Now, this is very important in the SaaS ecosystem because once the deal is signed, the work is not over. The customer success team ensures that the customer is happy so that they renew next year and year on year. So if the customer success fails, the customer leaves, and we always call that as a churn. Okay. Now, ICP versus the persona. Okay. What is ICP? It's like ideal customer profile, right? Persona is nothing but a buyer persona. Okay. So before you make a single cold call, you need to know who you are calling. And these are the two terms that you should know clearly. Number one is ICP or ideal customer profile. Now, this talks about the company. For example, we sell to fintech companies in India with more than 50 employees. Now that's an ICP. Okay. If you're trying to sell to maybe a hospital, you are wasting your time because they're not your ICP, right? So you always should define your ICP first. Number two is the persona or a buyer persona. Now, this talks about the human. Now, who is the person who's going to sign the contract or the check for me? Is it the CFO? Right? So they always care about saving money. Is it the CTO? They care about security, features, and all of that. Is it the end user? So end users always care about saving time. Now, as a salesperson, you need to know your pitch depending on which buyer persona you are talking to. Always remember this. Okay. So now let's talk about the two main GTM motions, right? So now this is the most critical part of the training. How do we actually sell? So in SaaS, there are two main styles, or we call as GTM motions. The motion number one is PLG, that is product led growth. You can think of apps like Slack, Canva, Zoom, right? Now, do you talk to sales guy to use Canva? No, right? You just sign up, use the free version, and later maybe you pay for the pro version. So here what happens is the product sells itself, right? Sales teams only get involved for very big enterprise deals. Maybe there is a company and you need 1,000 Canva Pro licenses or something like that. That is when the sales team gets involved. Okay. The second motion we call as sales led growth. Now you can think of companies like SAP or Salesforce, right? So you cannot just download Salesforce. It's a complex solution. It's a CRM and it is expensive solution as well, right? So here what happens is a human being or a salesperson is needed for you. So the salesperson will do the discovery, give a demo, negotiate the price, and then eventually, help you sign a contract, right? So for those of you transitioning from other industries, you have to understand that most high-paying SaaS roles are in the sales-led category. Okay, the SLG motion basically. Now let's understand the funnel and the handoff. Okay, so whatever you see on the screen, let's look at the process flow. Okay, so imagine like you are running a relay race. Back in school, if you have ran a relay race, I have done that, right? So marketing runs the first lap here. So they find the lead. We call this as an MQL, right, or a marketing qualified lead. Then they pass the baton to the SDR, the sales development rep, right? The SDR calls the lead, qualifies them, and books a meeting. Now this becomes a SQL, which is a sales qualified lead. So first it was a MQL, then it became an SQL. Then the SDR passes the baton to the account executive. Now what does an AE does? AE will do the demo and eventually handle all the objections and closes the deal, right? So once the deal is closed, the AE will pass the baton to the CSM, the customer success manager, for onboarding, right? Now there are certain friction points as well. The biggest problem in companies happens when these handoffs are very bad, right? So if the SDR books a meeting with a company that has no money, then the A gets mad. If the A promises a feature that does not exist, the CSM gets mad, right? So your job is to make sure that the baton doesn't drop, right? So you have to ensure there is a seamless transition at every stage. Okay. Now there are outbound engines where there is no marketing involved. It is the SDR who will go out, who will talk to the prospects and gets them as well. So it's directly SQL. So there is no MQL involved. It's just the SQL, and then you hand over to the A. Okay. Next, let us focus on some of the metrics you should keep on mind. So if you want to grow in your career, you need to speak the business language, right? Uh, and that language is always metrics. And here are some of the important ones you should know. First is ARR, which we call as annual recurring revenue. Now how much revenue are we guaranteed every year? That matters the most to companies, right? Then comes CAC, that is customer acquisition cost, right? How much money did we spend on ads and sales salaries or commissions to get one customer? So let's say if you spend 100 rupees to get a customer who only pays you 50 rupees, then you're losing money, right? At the same way, let's say you spend 500 rupees to get a customer who pays you 5,000 rupees, then you are making profit. You have the customer acquisition cost is 500 rupees, remaining is the profit which comes in, right? Then you should know about the LTV, right? LTV is nothing but lifetime value. Some people call it a CLV as well, right? So now how much money will this customer give us over the next few years, maybe 5 years, 10 years before they leave? How much money are they going to give us? Okay. Very important is churn as well, right? So this is a percentage of customers who cancel. Like in my experience, I see churn as a enemy, right? Because I'm an account manager. So if your churn is high, it means your bucket is leaking. Okay, you need to figure out. Okay, so just to summarize, right, what we learned today, you should understand that GTM is not like a launch; it is a system, right? Alignment is very important. Like the product team, the marketing team, the sales team, and the customer success team must work together. You should always know the GTM motion you're going to work with, right? Are you doing a product led growth or are you doing a sales led growth? Sales led growth is where there is more money. You should know your customer, strictly focus on your ICPs, your buyer personas. You can also do this research using Perplexity or Google Gemini, right? And yeah, so these are some of the important things that you should know about the GTM. These are like the very basics you should know. I hope this video has helped, so you can go through this again and take note, revise using AI as well. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.